It's been a long time. I'm back. Let's solve some chess puzzles. Let's go. Okay, so let's get something up going. And yeah, there we go. What we're going to do is solve a couple of chess puzzles on Puzzle Rush. So I'm going to do survival. My highest ever is 62. Of course, the puzzles get harder from time to time. And I'm going to try and explain every puzzle that I'm doing. Of course, the first ones I'll try and solve very quickly. You can see that these three guys are blocking that king. So I'm going to check here and pick this guy. That's a checkmate. Same thing. This is called a back rank checkmate. Just pick that, it's a checkmate. Again, you have a bishop and a queen. Anytime you have your queen being able to get to... Oh, sorry, there's a problem. We need to make a... I realize that our screen is not perfectly visible. So let's do something about it. Okay. There we go. Sorry, editing. Hera says she doesn't like when people edit on stream. But it is what it is. That's what we're going to do now. So that you guys can get to see what it is that we're doing. So yeah, there we are. Yeah, probably gonna keep it right there. That's fine. I think you guys can see that. It's kinda okay. I noticed maybe something is missing. Anyway, so there we are. So in this position, I'll just take a free rook. So I end up being a queen up. That's pretty straightforward. Same thing. This is a back rank issue. Of course, this knight is defending the rook, but I can take that, sacrificing my queen, take again and take your queen. Same kind of checkmate. Again, there's this square. If the queen can land next to the king and is protected, in this case, we have the knight defending, then that becomes a checkmate as well. Again, this king, always want to look for your checks. Not many squares it can go to. This square is blocked, this square is blocked. The queen can come and give check, covering all three squares. That's also a checkmate. So this is an easy one. Undefended bishop. I'll take it. It's a check. You actually have to block with your queen, and I take the queen is checkmate as well. So one of the things about chess is to always look for opportunities to attack the defender. And in this particular one, it's actually very nice because I'm winning a rook at the end. Okay, that's a quick calculation. But essentially, I'm going to check you here. Then I'm going to pick your check. Then there's this, the two guys end up on the same line, and I take the rook. So yeah, a little bit of flex. So I'm winning this rook. Actually, you have to give me the bishop first and the rook as well. So there's a check here. Take here and take the rook at the end. Then here's just a simple checkmate. Queen next to king. The queen is protected, cannot be captured. Same thing is going to happen here. That's just a checkmate right there. Again, here it's a fork. The king and the bishop are on the same line, and I can just come and say check. Then I take this guy, and I'm assuming that my two pawns will win against you. So again, queen next to the king. The knight is defending, so this is also another checkmate. This looks checkmate-ish. Yes, it is. So already you can see that this bishop is covering those squares, rook is covering those squares. The only square this king has is this, and the bishop can take out that square where the king is and also give check. So this is a little bit tricky because, or I'm tempted to do, okay, the check doesn't work, so I'm looking at that check picks, check, that's not enough. So where is the best move? I don't think the answer will just be this picks. Doesn't seem right. Okay, so I have to think for a moment. So I've also realized that whenever we're streaming, the you're not as settled as you are normally. So I have to see. So takes, let's say the rook can't take, of course. Rook takes is gonna be a simple, straightforward check, and I win your rook. So the pawn takes. And I'm seeing I have a nice little check there. And what you can't do is to move on to this rank, let's say here or here, because then this check and I win your rook. But what if you move into that square after I check you? Definitely I can take the pawn. That's a single pawn, doesn't seem right. Okay, so I check you. Or even better actually, I can check you here with my queen at this square, attacking your rook as well. I think your only move is this. Then I can bring my rook to say check. I think you have to move up. Then I can check you. I think you have to move your king here. There's another check here by the queen. When you move here, this is checkmate. Okay, so this is a pretty uncomfortable kind of move, but I'm saying I take here. You have to take with the pawn. Then I come and check you here with the queen. So this check, literally, you have only one square. If you play here, queen f3, it's a fork attacking the king and attacking the rook. So I take that guy. And if instead when my queen comes here, you play king to this square or this square, then again my queen just comes here, check, attacking the king and attacking the rook. And so you only have one square, which is this. Again, I come here, check with my queen, attacking your king here, attacking the rook once again. The only way to defend both of those guys is to play the king here, and then I bring the rook saying check, attacking your king. The queen is covering these squares, the rook is covering these squares, the king can only move here, my queen is on that rank, bring my rook here, king can only go to that square, and then, sorry, rook here, king can only go to that square, queen comes here, check, you can see it's attacked, the rook is covering the whole of that, king can only come here, and this is checkmate. So let's see if that is the answer, if I've calculated correctly. Yeah, so there's also that, they'll just play this and take the rook, stopping all that. But I want to explain what it is that I had in mind in that puzzle, so that we are sure that we got it right. And let's play the move they played. So we play here, and I'm saying they can't take the rook first. That's very easy, it's just a simple check, and I take the rook. Let's say you play here, take the rook back. Okay, classifying the move, I'm not sure that error is, but anyway, it's just a rook up. You have queen, rook in that position, queen and rook versus queen. This is winning, so those are some of the things you want to know about chess, unless the opponent plays really badly. Then the other thing is, if they take with the pawn, which is their best move, then you can see here it's recommending queen to e3. That's the move. And let's say, for example, as I'm saying, if they play either one here or here, it doesn't really matter. Queen e2 is check. I'm attacking the king, I'm attacking the rook. So that doesn't really work. Same thing if they play here, I'll just check you here, attacking the king, attacking the rook. And so the only move is this. And what I calculated was this check here. I'm attacking the king, attacking the rook. Sorry, yeah, attacking the king, attacking the rook. So the only way to defend, if you go this side, I'll take the rook for free. And the same thing would happen, for example, if after this check you went here, this check also is a fork, attacking the king and the rook. So in this instance, the only move that I think would make sense is this, and then check, then you have to play here sort of. So after that move, then the rook comes in. This is what we calculated. Then we have, of course, you can sacrifice your queen just delays the move, but more likely nobody is doing that. And then rook to e2, this is what we saw. King to c1 is forced, you can't cross, and then the queen comes in check. You always want to be very careful when the rook is on the 7th rank, and then of course this, and you can see those are the best moves as indicated up here. So we calculated correctly. A number of moves actually: 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 move line, but it's fairly straightforward. That's not really a complex calculation. It's just that the move is not immediately obvious as you're starting. Great, not bad. So let's carry on with the rush. Normally you don't expect such complicated lines so early. So here I'm going to win your queen because I'll check you here. The king looks like it has space, but the bishop is covering that space, right? So the king is actually in trouble. And now the queen is defending, the king is defending the queen, and one of the principles, remove the defender, then you can just win. Rook versus queen, you are definitely winning. Not definitely, it's not so easy by the way, but you are winning. Great. So I think here the main thing is just to take the queen by, this is called a skewer. King moves up, take the queen, then you take the rook, and we have a queen and bishop versus, yeah, basically an exchange up. Is there anything better? I don't see it. So I'll just play this, take that. Oh, I didn't even see my queen was being attacked. So that's the things you really want to pay attention to. So in this instance, then you have to take the rook. Nice, rook versus bishop, just as good. So the first thing I see is that this king is really suffering, doesn't have squares. These bishops are powerful. That's what positional play is about. So what can we do? Very nice simple check here. Again, this king can't move, so any check that can't be captured is going to be a checkmate. Captured or blocked is going to be a checkmate. So this knight, I'm not sure what his plan was, but it looks like it can actually get captured. And I think that's a plan, because the knight has sort of gotten into this space. Looks like it's doing a lot, coming in to attack black, but where can it go from here? Not possible, not possible, not possible, not possible. This is defended, that is defended. The only place you can go to is here. But from here, where do you go? You can only come to this square and that square. So already I know that we're discussing a trapped piece. So I'm just going to attack that knight here. And oh, that's not what I had in mind, by the way. That is not what I had in mind. That is not what I had in mind. I didn't calculate that part. Okay, so what I'm seeing is to take here, attacking the rook. The rook moves in to attack our bishop. We take the knight, take this guy, play check. What is the situation? We've won a pawn. Is that pawn sufficient to win the game? I'm not sure. Easier, better. If I play any weak move, the knight will escape. So you want to play an active move. I don't see anything else. I'm just gonna pick this. Why couldn't they just, okay, fine, let me just pick this one. Let me try and look at that puzzle. I'm trying to understand why they can't attack my bishop, because my calculation was that I just win a pawn, that's it. And this, and you win this guy. But I want to understand what happens. This is important, guys. You really want to understand here. So I want to understand why they can't play this move, because that looks like it's best. So I pick this guy, I take here. That's the end of my calculation. I'm a pawn up, and I feel that I can still attack this pawn and maybe win. So if white is not careful, then that is what is coming. So I thought this move, so that now if I play here, you can just defend it, and I don't think that is sufficient. So Okay, it's recommending in that situation g6. Let's get some of these guys out of the way, but this rook is kind of trapped, it can't move, and this guy can't move either. So yeah, I think white is likely to run out of moves. I think because you can't move this pawn forward. Okay, let's move up. So let's play some waiting moves. Oh, there's this guy. You can just lose this pawn as well. So yeah, so look at those weak pawns that's easy to attack. It's kind of tricky, everything in that position. All right, so winning position there. You don't see everything, but you get a position where you feel that you know this is winning. So I'm feeling a little bit tired already. I don't know what's going on here. I'm seeing that square is covered. The bishop is covered in that square. That means that I'm going to take your queen on c1 with a checkmate. So these ones are still fairly easy. The bishop is covering those squares. This bishop is covering these squares. A simple check here should allow you to go to c1 and checkmate will follow. Okay, you can also give me those pieces. So the queen is covering this file. This is like a ladder checkmate. Just play a nicely rook. I'm not in check here. Let's just checkmate to come. It looks like I should play here. By the way, can't I just push? So there are two possibilities. If I were to pick, then this loses because I come back, and even if you come in front of my pawn, I push, you come here, I come forward and I queen. Great. But if I take, you'll not make this thunderous move, instead you'll shoulder me right here. And now if I push the pawn, you attack it. And if I play here, what happens? I don't see. Okay, so I need to understand. So there has to be a difference. Take opposition. Okay. Do they both work? I don't think so. That's not how these puzzles work. Am I missing something? So for example, if I were to push this guy forward, threatening to make a queen. Oh, that doesn't work. That would be such a serious blunder. You know they'll play? They'll play here check. And if now you take the rook, they bring the king up, attacking the pawn, and that is lost, so that that's drawn. And if I decide not to go there, let's say I come in front of your king, the rook just comes here and they'll sacrifice regardless. And if I come here, they do the exact same thing. Okay, check you. Again, you can't take because I play here. You bring your king there. I go to e8, and now when you come to e6, it's a stalemate. It's a draw. Sorry, I'm saying if I push, there's this check. If I take it, king comes up, and this pawn can't be saved. Okay. Instead, if I push, they check me, and I come here, they check me again. And if I move my king away without taking the rook, of course I take the pawn. That's a draw. So taking the rook, king comes up, attacking this pawn. Now your king can go ahead and defend your pawn, but the king can come up this way, attacking that pawn. You can't move away, you have to move here. The moment you move here, all the squares are covered. This pawn is covering these two squares, this king is covering 1, 2, 3. So king versus king in a position covers. So the only move is this. Okay, and now you have to move in, then you play here, then here. So allow me to explain what I was trying to talk about there very briefly so that we sort of are on the same page. Oh, someone is commenting something. I'm seeing let's see. Sorry, I missed your comments, guys. I missed your comments. Let me just see. These are comments from Brenda Uma saying hi. Newt Combat 9 hi. Check out this crazy chess variant. Okay, Dubstar. Okay. Thank you, guys. Thank you for logging in. Okay, the puzzle is not opening. I don't know why. So we'll just give it time. So knights are really powerful, guys, by the way. So this checkmate is, it looks like I just bring my queen here checkmate, but in fact when I play here, they're going to play this move. But then I'll check you, you have to go back, and now I come here and the checkmate can't be stopped. So what I just want to check is whether the opponent has any checks, because the checkmate is happening here. There's nothing to stop it, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, it's a checkmate in 4 kind of position. So I see the knight is here attacking this square. The king is the only defender. These pawns have been cleared, so there's what are called weaknesses against white. So yeah, here. Okay, so they've just cancelled it immediately. So getting your rook to this line is such a big deal. So it looks like black is winning. They have 2 extra pawns. They're about to make a queen. This king doesn't look very safe, but in fact the king is so safe. I'm just going to pick here. I think your best move is to give out your queen with a check, hoping I don't see. I'll take it, and there's nothing to stop this checkmate, I think. Wait a minute, is there? What if you play here? Again, the king can just come, queen can come this way, and will follow up with a check, and that check is gonna be met. It's so strange just how powerful this kind of move is. Okay, so the move I've seen is I'll play here because the next move comes with check and mate, right? There's no check against my king. Again, on that diagonal, this is closed, that is closed. So I'm just gonna play here. Interestingly, do I take with the queen or do I take with the king? If I take with the queen, they make a new queen comfortably. But if I take with the king, they only check me with their rook. I move up, they check me again. Oh, that was close. Okay, so the first thing positionally is I want to keep my sort of, what do you call, my pawn defended, right? So I want to move my king to the side. In terms of material, people may think that a queen is generally better than a rook and a bishop, and that is true. But in this situation, there is rook, bishop, and a passed pawn. And the only person who can really stop this pawn from becoming a queen is this guy, which basically means this pawn can't be stopped. The queen doesn't do a very good job of it. So this pawn will move, and even if the queen were to get here, then I can somehow maneuver my bishop to come and chase your queen away. When your queen comes away, I make a queen, you take it, I take back with the rook, I'll have taken your bishop. So anyway, let me explain a little bit more. So the question I need to understand is, where do I need to play where I don't have to worry about further checks and without giving up this pawn? So a move like this doesn't seem to work very well. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, they're also attacking the bishop. So no problem. I think I can give you that bishop. I'm very happy to give you that bishop, by the way. So I play here. If you take this guy, I push the pawn, and I'm about to win with check. You don't have any more checks to go. So this bishop, I'm very happy if you take it. Say, for example, I play here and you take this bishop. I push my pawn, and you probably have to bring your, you don't have any checks. You have to bring your queen, and I just make a queen, take, I take. What else? Okay, I'm not going to spend too much time. I don't want to give you too many checks. I play here. The other thing is you have this check and you have this check. And what I'm planning to do with that check is play the rook. When you check me here, I can go up. Is that the end of the checks? I think it. Let me just play it. Why not? So here I have two possibilities. One is this, but if I play that, your queen can just come up check, and then I more or less have to go back. That's not really the idea. So this is what I have in mind. This is a checkmate in 1, 2, 3 in 3 moves. You can see this rook is covering this rank. The knight is protecting that square. So it's the rook. Then you come and do this. Wait, that checkmate doesn't really exist. It's not in, because the bishop, when the bishop comes up, I think the best way is to capture this way, so that now you move, will eventually checkmate you like this, like this, like this, and the knight comes in. So I sort of miscalculated there a little bit. Yeah, that happens. This is just checkmating one. So it's generally very tempting to play here, but then the king escapes. But if you check here, then this is not possible. That is protected. So checkmating one. I'm trying to understand. Oh, it looks like white is winning. They have an extra knight. Pawns are equal. That is 6, no 5, an extra pawn. But this extra pawn is sufficient. So this knight has no way back to stop this pawn. This is called a pawn break. How do you pick? Do you pick with, of course you have to pick with the pawn, which also stops the knight from getting back. And this was your plan all along, to just make a queen. So here it's a check here, check 2-move checkmate. First move is just to give this check here. So now the king doesn't have any place to go. Protected check that can't be blocked is checkmate. We spoke about that already. So I want to see this looks like a straightforward 1-move checkmate. The king looks like it has so much space to go to, but it can only go be where it is. This not possible, not possible, not possible, not possible. And this bishop can't be taken, can't be blocked. That's a checkmate. So bring our rook to the 7th rank and then sort of try to checkmate this king. I think that's really not avoidable. The only thing is I'm wondering, when they play here, what do we do? Or there is this check, which still works. Okay, so let's pick, and then queen here check. You really have to pay attention, and this is going to result in checkmate because you have, wait a minute, let's calculate. Right, which check works? Yeah, that check works because then we'll check you with the pawn on f5 and take your queen. I think that's enough. Then there's this check here. Okay. My heart just tells me to take this bishop. That's the first thing, and actually that works because you have a rook that is hanging at the end of this line. You take it now, but I'm checking that this pawn here can make a queen, can become a problem piece. I don't see it, so just take. So this is kind of unpleasant. This is checkmate in 2 moves because I'm gonna wait. No, why? Let's check you here. I'm gonna play some really bad move, but really all I need to do is to but this is checkmate, isn't it? So let me explain what I'm saying. I'm trying to understand, okay, this check already first played, the queen has to block. So you don't stop thinking there. You really have to calculate a little bit more and see what's going on. I think that's quite obvious. And I think everything seems to be winning because if you take takes, I think the puzzle will end there. But I need to see that is better. So check, queen blocks, and to check you here. If you move this way, then I pick here checkmate. And if you move this way, the queen comes here, checkmate. Yeah. So let me explain. Still it's winning, but you know, yeah, this is the other puzzle we were looking at, by the way. So this was really the correct move, of course, is to take here, and then I play this, play here, play here. But if instead of that we did something a little bit wrong, say for example this, and we make this mistake, then now you have, actually you can even play here right away. What I saw initially was this. Yeah. Again, you can't pick because I come here attacking the pawn, and that is just picked. And if you don't pick, I thought you'd play here. See, check you. Again, now you can, if you run away, just pick it. Just run. Actually, I don't have to. Oh, I can actually just come back up, actually, in this case here. Even worse. Then you try to queen, the king comes. Yeah, so it's very tricky. So really, after this move, you have to take. Here, after this, you have to take, and we've seen this already. Now, if you come here, I'm gonna play there. And then now, if you move anywhere away, I'll take the pawn. If you play here, it's a stalemate because this king can't move anywhere. It's covered. Okay, can't go anywhere. So that's that puzzle. There's this other puzzle we are looking at here. And I'm saying this is the move because that's all there is to it. And the idea is that if you play this, if you block with the queen, which is your only move, it's tempting to take the queen and that also winning, but I think this check is better. Yeah, so wherever you guess gonna be checkmate. If you play here, all the squares are covered, so this is checkmate. And if you play here, then the queen comes here. Look at this diagonal, that's also checkmate. That's what I was calculating in that situation, which is I think still fine. Let's see, we're on 35, or we are going very slowly. All right, no problem. So here I sort of feel that our move is just a checkmate in 2. Don't feel I've seen, have I? Seen it. Oh, yeah, I think I have. Check, pick with the rook, queen comes check, king goes, knight here check. Initially I thought we'll just play check, king here, checkmate, but of course this can be picked this way. So this is the best move. Start with this, then bring your queen. This is a checkmate right there. Okay. What's tempting me here is a queen sacrifice, but it doesn't work. Oh, it works perfectly, by the way. So the first thing that attracted me was to play my queen here. And I thought for a moment that if they take, then I thought I'd play this check, they move back, I check them here, they come here. But in fact, I just play pick here right away. And that is a checkmate. Okay, let me show you guys what I mean. This, let's give up the queen here. The bishop comes to block. That's checkmate because now all squares are covered. So this is a little tricky. Okay, it isn't really, but the idea is to always chase away the defender. So I want to chase away. Okay, so two bishops, two rooks. But I want to check you here. I think you have to move to this square. Then I take this bishop. You have this check here, but it doesn't do anything because I think I come up, and that's it. So let's see. Take here. Okay, that's even worse because you're trading more pieces and you're behind material. This is straightforward check here. So you always have to look at the important check. There's a bishop hiding here. So this check is not a mate, don't do that. Instead this is a checkmate. So I think the next, so will you even get 50 guys? I'm getting a bit tired. Let's see. They're trying to make a queen as white. So the king is just going to move. We have this queen over here. This is a queen. Okay, just think of it like that. So because it can't be stopped literally. Like there's something like called the square. This is a square of this pawn, and for this king to get into that square, they need to move 1, 2. Actually, they need like 1, 2, 3, because they have to move this pawn out of the way. So what do I need to do is just make sure these pawns can't queen. The way to do that, king here, king comes and sits in front of these two guys. And whenever this one becomes a queen, my bishop takes it. Okay, so I can capture your queen. I can stop these two. These are not queens, these are pawns. And this queen of mine is going to become a queen and it's going to win the game. So don't push the pawn here. You have to pay attention first and see. Because you see, oh, I'm about to queen. Then you blunder, play here first. Okay. Here it's very important for us to take this pawn. Otherwise that pawn, wait a minute. Do we even want to do that? Wait a minute. You have to be very careful here. Okay. So this is you definitely cannot play king here. That loses because they just play here immediately. And you can't stop that pawn from becoming a queen. Not only is it becoming a queen, you're being checkmated. If you take here, they take back, and your king still cannot approach that square, so you're losing. So moving here is out of the question. You can't move away, you have to take it. I've already calculated what's going on after the take. After the take, then when they move the pawn, if they move this pawn, you just move your pawn. Wait a minute. When they, if they move the pawn, you move your bishop away. That's what you do. Yeah, so that they cannot capture that bishop anymore. Then I was thinking that if they move the pawn, then you can just push your pawn, but that's a blunder because they make a queen. You have to take, then they take your bishop, and you can't stop this pawn from becoming a queen. So the queen before you, and they're actually controlling. So that's threatening checkmate. Actually, that's probably the word to use. So what you want to do is, what they probably do is, you take, they make a queen, you take back, they take your bishop, and then before you move your pawn, you have to move here to stop that guy from becoming a queen. That's what you're doing. Okay, so you pick here, then now you have to play this move. If you blunder, say for example, and play here, then this is played, you can no longer approach. Okay, so you must play here now. Now we're okay. You have to be very careful because this is the square of your pawn. Okay. If you were to move here, which is not necessary, the pawn king comes into the square of your pawn and nicer draw. So you must move away. That's it. Sorry guys. Bit of a cough. Okay. This is from the French Stenitz. So we just win a queen. So essentially what happened is, I think this has just been played. So black sees they can take our knight. If we take back, they take a free bishop. Here, sorry, because the knight is defending the bishop. But and again, you're saying that if you take the queen, they take the queen. But you have a very nice tricky move here, so which is just queen out, defending your bishop, and surprisingly, this queen has no escape. Now you think this pawn is falling, but there's also this move, which means, okay. So here, black is going that way, white is coming this way, but your queen will check. Oh, picking with the pawn looks easy, but that's a mistake. If you pick with the pawn, yes, you queen first, even the check. So it's gonna be pick. Sorry, this is going to be 1, 2, 3, and 4 is check. Okay, so black only move three steps. 1, 2, 3. Now when you check white, they come here. So you have a queen, they have a pawn, but this is a rook's pawn. This pawn wants to queen, this position is a draw. You should know that by heart. So the correct move is actually king takes. then you take this pawn, then you move in front of the king, move your pawn, and that pawn can't be stopped. Okay, so let's see here what's going on. Is this not just a simple checkmate? Is it not? Yeah, so what I was calculating initially is that I can check you block with the bishop, but not seeing the obvious move. Then check here, bring the bishop here to try and checkmate you. But this is also a queen, and in fact this is checkmate right here. So you have to be very, very careful about those kinds of moves. But the king is also an attacker attacking this pawn. So this move threatens, bishop comes back, queen takes check, king goes away, and now this is checkmate. So this is what I mean, very simple checkmate there. Then again, this king looks really, really unhappy. This king is not very happy with what has happened to it. So the question is whether we should bring the rook to the 7th doesn't work actually. So why not just take this, take back, I play check and take your rook. Yeah, that's the one. Now can these guys make a queen? I think the only thing to know is whether there's a checkmate, but because there are two guys defending, the black pieces are more centralized. In this position, I don't think there'll be anything else. So that's pretty much it. I don't know how to explain that concept really, but it is what it is. It's kind of the idea. Why am I not seeing that immediately? So I'm seeing knights and rooks next to this king, and I'm trying to figure out, okay, so what are we doing here? The first thing that strikes me is the possibility of a knight landing here, especially this knight. Oh yeah, so we go there first, then we bring it there. Then we bring the other knight here, checkmate. Can you imagine? So this is a pattern that I sort of know that if this rook is pinning this pawn. So if a knight lands here, it's gonna be checkmate actually, because this knight is protecting the square. So again, if I play here, I'm threatening checkmate. I think the only way that's reasonable to defend it is this. Then I bring my knight here, check. The king has to go back. Of course, I can take the rook, but that's a blunder because I have a better move, which is checkmate here. Very weak squares. Okay, let me explain what I'm talking about there, because it's not like the most obvious of tactics. So here, and if you play this, so there's a checkmate threat, so let's play some random move like just attack your bishop, which is lost. This is checkmate. Okay, so you have to protect something there, and that's probably here. Sorry, it's probably here, because you also make room for the king to escape. This other rook will just be checkmate right away, for example, to defend that way, protect that way. Is that not a checkmate? Yeah, that's a checkmate. Didn't give me that checkmate thing, but it is checkmate, you can see there. So, but this one, again, there's a check. You can't pick because this is pinned, and then you play there, then there's this checkmate here. So that's really what I was trying to explain, that long-winded conversation. Again, I'm seeing this king looking so sad. So what I'm thinking is there's a checkmate. I'm trying to figure out the way to make that checkmate happen. The first move, of course, is this check, because all this doesn't work. You always want to start with the better moves for the opponent here. This, actually, this move is better. This, and I thought I'd play this checkmate, but unfortunately that is not checkmate enough because the queen takes. So maybe when this is played, we probably have to play this check. King comes back. Check. King goes up. I don't have this. Okay, let's do this check. I don't have this checkmate. Anyway, I'm sure there's something. Just can't see it. There. Okay, the other side. I still cannot see. Now that's the problem. That's the way I don't see a thing at all after that check. Okay, this. Okay, is there a better move? I'll just play it, why not? So here is where I haven't really figured out the answer. The immediate move that comes to mind is this, because that threatens a checkmate right here. But it looks fairly slow. But how do you stop it? I don't think I can stop it. So this move has to be it. But these are the moves I really struggle with, because I think I can pick this guy, and you still have to give me the queen here. So those moves I find them really hard, by the way. I can't explain. Okay, I think I've solved this one already. Rook to d1 check, you take the rook, I take your rook on g7, you bring your rook back to h1, I take my king to h8, which stops the check. And then let's say you try and bring your king closer, I attack your rook with g2, you bring your rook to g8, I bring my rook to defend that rook, and I take your pawn later. So this is really the move that I believe works. Then you take this guy. Okay, if you attack me directly, I think the move is just to play here first. So here I'm struggling a bit. Am I really? Oh, bishop is available. I was thinking only of queen checks. The queen check doesn't really work. I thought check, king goes up. If I check you here, you take with the rook, this is met, but you'll take with the king instead. And I'm thinking if I pick on time, 12 for 2. Okay, guys, I think we have to end this stream. 48, 49, 50. Yeah, so I think we have to end the stream, guys. It's already, today is my Sabbath, so that's it. We have to bring it to a close Saturday. So there you go, guys. That's the end of the stream. We'll keep, I didn't get to 50, sad, but it is what it is. I think we will do the best we can in the next stream. This looks like the worst I can get here, by the way, is a draw, which I've already seen. Queen to f for queen to b5. That's like the absolute worst draw. Question is if they can get better. Let me never checks as well. Anyway, That's it. Please sign in for more. My daughters stream a bit more than I do. I'll also do my best. We didn't get to 50 because of time. Cheers.